Food offerings. Many of us have heard of the abomination of desolation, and we think of him stopping the morning and evening sacrifices, but not as many of us think about what a morning and evening sacrifice is. All of the information on it, and to give you that answer, it's a food sacrifice. All of the food sacrifices are in Numbers 28, and there are 3 of them. Now, there are multiples, but it all is going to fall into one of 3 categories. Every single day is a regular meal offering, and he says specifically a food offering. 1 lamb in the morning, 1 lamb in the evening. He gets with it wine. He gets with it flour, so basically bread, and he gets olive oil, and that's what he eats daily. I say what he eats. It is my belief that that food is transfigured. We know that the smell of the sacrifice is a sweet savor to the Creator. And I wonder, and have wondered and still wonder, whether or not that's something that he eats. And he says it's a food sacrifice. And I wonder if what we do here on earth goes up to heaven for him. And I hope so. But he gets a regular allotment for a meal. And obviously we should be clamoring to try to give him that meal. He's went 2,000 years without it. But we have this in Numbers 28, so let's kind of walk this through. It's kind of easy to get down. And so in verse 28, verse 2, give this command to the Israelites and say to them, make sure that you present to me at the appointed time my food offerings as an aroma pleasing to me. He wants these things, okay? Goodness knows if he wants it, shouldn't it be our only desire in the world to give it to him? Say to them, this is a food offering you're to present to the Lord. Now, and again, it's my belief that if we put that on the altar, he actually gets that in heaven. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but it is a food offering, and it's to him, and he wants to smell that. In verse 3, it says, 2 lambs a year old without defect as a regular burnt offering each day. Verse 4, offer 1 lamb in the morning and the other at twilight. And then he goes to where he wants the bread, the wine, and olive oil. And that's the food offering. And again, we get that again. He says it. He's continually saying it. But in verse 8, the very end of it, this is the food offering, an aroma pleasing to the Lord. If it's pleasing to him, goodness gracious, that's our entire purpose in life, is to do something pleasing for him. Give him the food offering. Now, the second offering, because that's a daily. The abomination of desolation will be one of those dailies. Now, Sabbath offering. Because it's a Sabbath offering, we know the abomination is not going to be on a Sabbath because it's a different offering. And it says he stops the morning and evening. It doesn't say he stops the morning and evening and Sabbath. On Sabbath, make an offering of 2 lambs. So you had 2 for the daily, and now you double it. You double the wine, you double the oil, you double the bread. So it's real simple. You know the first one, you double it on Sabbath. So he gets this feast on Sabbath. He gets to double his food. And the other one, if we have 12 months out of the year, he has 12 of these, plus. And if we have 13 months, he has 13 months of these each year, plus. And why do I say plus? Because he also has it on Passover, and he has it on Shavuot. And so the monthly, the Passover, and the Shavuot are all the same. Okay? So on the first of each month, he gets 2 young bulls, 1 ram, 7 males, lambs, a year old, and then he gets this. Each one of those comes with increased wine, increased flour, increased olive oil. And there's a sin offering on that day of a ram. So That's what happens on each first day of the month. So when we think of Aviv, that's what he gets for Aviv. When we think of the first month of Tishri for the Festival of Trumpets, he doesn't. He gets this on trumpets, but that's because it's the first of the month. He gets it on Passover, even though Passover is on the 14th day of the month. And again, it's on the. We do the exact same thing for Passover. He gets the 2 bulls. He gets 1 ram. He's got 7 lambs, okay? 7 male lambs. And then he has the sin offering. Plus he has all the extra wine, all the extra oil, all the extra bread. Festival of Weeks, same exact thing. 2 bulls, 1 ram, 7 male lambs, and then a sin offering in addition to that, as long as all the other wine, flour, and olive oil. So if you think about, again, I have been to a number of nice restaurants. First thing that they'll try to do, a lot of them, they'll bring out the bread with olive oil. Well, it sounds like our Creator loves that as an appetizer. And then he likes lamb. I mean, he eats lamb almost constantly. And on Sabbath, he wants to eat twice as much. Let's give it to him. And on the first of each month, he likes to have a little bit of variation where he likes even more lambs. He wants to have a massive feast. But he also wants goat and he wants some beef. Well, give it to him. I mean, that's what he wants. Give it to him. Passover, exact same thing. That's what he wants. Give it to him. Festival of the Weeks, same thing that he wants. Give it to him. Because that's what he asked for. What is our purpose in life? To serve? It's kind of a no-brainer. Now, because of that, again, we know that the Anti-Messiah is not coming on the first of the month. He's not coming on Passover. And he's not coming on Festival of Weeks. Nor is he coming on, which again is kind of redundant, but he's not coming on the Day of Trumpets, even though, because that's the first of the month, because it would have been a totally different sacrifice they would be doing at that time. So he's going to come in a Sunday to Friday is when he's going to come and stop the morning and evening sacrifice. And it's not going to be first of that month, and it's not going to be on any of these other holidays. Again, it's real simple though. All I did the video for is to say he gets a food offering. There are 3 of them. It's so simple because once you know one, the second one on Sabbath is just twice as much. And then the other one, again, it comes 13, 14, so it's going to come about 15 times a year. Somewhere between 14 and 15, depending upon whether they're 13 months in the year or not. And great, we give them to him. And those are big meals for him. So something about that new moon is very special for him. I don't know that we'll ever know what that is, but it's special enough for him to say, I'm doing so much more for it than I am for Sabbath. Don't know why. I doubt the Creator of the universe is going to talk to me and explain that. This is what he says, is what it is.